Adam Gore, and I'm being joined by Video Operations Coordinator Raphael Henry for the day's doubleheader between the Lady Indians and the Lady Tigers. This matchup now was originally scheduled to be played in Fulton, and due to what many consider to be a record-breaking snowfall in Itawamba County, the coaches agreed to move this twin bill to Boonville, which means the Lady Indians will now host Northeast on Friday, March the 27th, with weather pending, of course. The Lady Indians enter today's doubleheader with an overall record of 7-4 and are coming off an 8-3 loss in 8 innings to Shelton State Community College after defeating host Meridian 8-1 this past Saturday during the Rush Invitational Tournament in Meridian. For Northeast, they come into today's contest with a 2-3-1 record overall, and they are coming off a 19-2 loss in 5 innings to Calhoun Community College on Tuesday as they split with Calhoun after picking up a 5-3 win in the first game of the day. Raphael and I hoping for a quick day of softball so we can get back out for the Bluegrass Gospel concert. First American National Bank opening pitch is swung on and lifted out to left field.
Number 1, Lakin Schenkel.
So fly out by Moore will bring up Lakin Schenkel. As we're in the top of the first inning, we typically have a score bug on the screen. We're going to try to get that your way here. Is that pitch high for a ball? Lakin Schenkel entering the contest today. She's batting .250 on the season, so it would be a good day to see that kind of raise a little bit. That pitch hits her. So Schenkel will trot down to first with 1 out, and that'll increase her on base percentage, which was at .324. So now up will be Caitlin Bradley. Bradley on the season batting .368. She's got 14 hits, 1 going for a double, 1 home run, 6 RBIs, 5 walks, and 6 stolen bases. Is that first pitch in there for a strike. In the circle for Northeast here in game 1 is Brittany Taylor. Now, if that name sounds familiar, she is the younger sister of former ICC softball pitcher Danny Taylor, who is actually in attendance today. So she's a little torn, having to cheer for her sister here, but also wanting to root on the good guys of ICC. Of course, Danny was one of the nation's leading pitchers in saves her sophomore season. Now she set the team record for saves that year. There's a shot down the line, but foul, as they try to get a little hit and run action going that time. So that'll reset here. Trying to find the scoreboard. It's down there in the corner, so it looks like the count is at 1-2, or excuse me, 1-1 is the count. As we're at the ICC Foundation broadcast picnic table, if you will, and that, now evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the first inning, no score. Runner on first for the Lady Indians, and at the plate is Caitlin Bradley. This pitch foul back and out of play, and that's a high foul ball as they have installed a new fence here in Boonville. So 2-2 stays the count now for Bradley. Runner on first is Lakin Schenkel. We're in the top of the first with no score. Pitch coming is high. Schenkel's getting down, and she's going to be caught stealing that time. So 2 away now. Actually, that pitch was high out of the zone and a perfect one to throw on for the catcher. She was already in the throwing motion that time versus having to come up out of her stance, and it was just enough to get Schenkel out at second. So 2 away here. And Bradley guarding the plate with a full count. And that pitch just missing the strike zone, and Bradley will trot down to first. So Henry, the sophomore out of North Pontotoc High School, will dig in now with 2 outs, trying to spark a 2-out rally here in the top of the first for the Lady Indians. Arian playing first base today, which has been her spot for the most part of the season. That pitch a little high and outside for a ball. 0-1 is the count here on Henry. Well, considering the past few days and the weather we've had, it's an absolutely beautiful day for softball here in Boonville. Time is called. 2 outs, runner on first for the Lady Indians. Runner goes, throw down is in time. So 2 runners thrown out trying to steal in the same inning. Results basically in a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Lady Indians. So we're going to take a 1-minute timeout. We're scoreless as we move to the middle of the first. So due up here is going to be Gates, Springer, and Cooper in the bottom of the first inning. This is going to be Chelsea Gates. Gates batting .231 on the season. Hannah Johnson in the circle here for the Lady Indians. Take a look at Johnson's numbers here in a moment. As the first pitch from Johnson in there for a strike. Johnson 4-1 on the season. 31 innings pitched. She's got an ERA of 3.13 on the season. Second pitch in there for a strike. So Johnson grooving early here. Quickly ahead in the count. 0-2. Second pitch just missing outside. And so that one could have been a big strikeout there to start the game. Of course, Johnson going to have to be on our A game today, as we talked about. Lady Indians shorthanded in game 1. There's a shot in the infield. Johnson grabs, throws over in time. Nice stretch by Henry. So score that one 1-3 on the putout. So one away here in the bottom of the first inning. Good job that time by Johnson defending her position. We're going to see it probably a lot on the infield today, as the field is playable but not totally dry, so you're going to see some players slipping around. As now up is going to be Avery Springer. Springer on the year, batting .333. There's a shot to second. Glove thrown over in time for out number 2. So 4-3 on the putout there. And today playing at second base, typically playing her shortstop position, is Haley Moore. So quickly, 2 up, 2 down here, as Cooper will come to the plate here. This is Yasmin Cooper at the plate. Cooper batting .250 on the year for Northeast. Now, as you can see, we do have an interesting point of view today on this broadcast, as we're pretty much in the hip pocket of the umpire. As that first pitch in there for a strike. Second pitch just inside for a ball. So Cooper with a 1-1 count now. Johnson's delivery swung on and missed for strike 2. So Lady Indians trying to match the 3 up, 3 down inning here in the bottom of the first. Johnson getting the call from the dugout. Pitch coming, swung on, grounded to short, glove throw over in time. Scored 6-3 with the assist going to Chicken over at short. So 3 up, 3 down goes the Lady Tigers, both teams. Scoreless after 1. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout and come back with the second inning right after this on Let'sGoICC.com. David M. Carnell Jr. Memorial Field is where we're at today. At the plate is going to be Arian Henry. She was batting when Bradley was caught stealing for the 3rd out of the top of the first inning, so no count here on Henry. In the circle is Brittany Taylor. We're scoreless, and we've played 1 here in game 1 in Boonville. So Henry digs in here, takes that first pitch low and outside for a ball. Well, as we talked about, it's a little mad scramble even to get this game to be able to be playable today. Second pitch looks to be just high and outside that time for ball 2. As we talked about, a record-breaking snowfall in Itawamba County the past few days. Forced the game up here to Boonville as the field was good, but just not quite good enough as that pitch in there for a strike. 2-1 is the count now on Arian Henry. On deck is going to be Autumn Bonner, and in the hole is Caitlin Downey. There's a swing right back up the middle, and Bonner is going to hit one out to the fence. This one could go for a double, as that was a rocket that time, and Henry with a leadoff double here in the top of the second inning, and that's just what the doctor ordered. Brought to you by Dr. Ron Wheeler Dentistry and Wheeler Family Dentistry in Fulton. Of course, Dr. Ron Wheeler, a longtime sponsor of ICC Athletics. They're located on South Adams Street. So a runner on second now for the Lady Indians. No out, and this is going to be Autumn Bonner at the dish. That first pitch high gets away, and that's going to allow Henry to advance to third. And so she will advance in scoring position here on that wild pitch. So now anything to the outfield or a base hit to the outfield could possibly score Henry from third, and it'd be the first run of the contest. So a big opportunity here in the second for the Lady Indians. That pitch a little high for a ball. Downey is on deck. Johnson is in the hole for the Lady Indians. A runner on third, no outs. We're scoreless here in the top of the second. That pitch right down Main Street for a strike. Good crowd at the ballpark today for both teams. And it actually turned out to be a pretty nice day for softball. I say we're in the mid-50s temperature-wise. That pitch just missing outside for a ball. I believe the count now goes 3-1. So 3-1 is the count here on Bonner. Bonner, as we said, catching here in game one. That pitch finds the corner of the plate for strike two. Now the count goes full here on Bonner. So 3-2 count here on Bonner. Lady Indians, that's kind of what they struggled with in Meridian. They would put runners in scoring position but could not find a way to push them across. As Bonner swings at a low one that time. It's going to be a foul ball. So a break for Bonner because she almost could have charged up and made a play on that one in fair territory and got the runner out at first because it wouldn't have been deep enough for Henry to score on. So a break in a sense for the Lady Indians. The count stays full here on Bonner. Nice job by Bonner that time battling to keep this at bat alive. And Bonner looks at that one, and she'll head back to the dugout after a Trustmark Bank strikeout for Taylor. So now that's going to bring up Caitlin Downey. Taylor gets a Trustmark Bank strikeout. They got locations on the square in Fulton at 624 Main Street in Columbus. That's Trustmark Bank, a neighborhood bank you can trust. So that first pitch in there for a ball. This is Caitlin Downey. Downey on the season for the Lady Indians, batting .250. Love to see that batting average go up here, especially with a runner in scoring position. Lays down a bunt, and the squeeze bunt that time does not work. The ball actually just died in front of the plate as the ground is extremely wet. Don't know if those type plays will be able to work today.
Number 14, Hannah Johnson.
So a break there for Northeast as they retire Henry on the squeeze play, and now they get 2 outs, and Hannah Johnson, the pitcher, at the plate. Johnson takes that first pitch a little high for a ball. I think the catcher maybe standing up on that one kind of worked against Taylor that time. So now Downey at first. 2 outs. Johnson hits a liner right up the middle, and that's going to be a single for Hannah Johnson. And so now up is going to be Cassidy Hardy. We talked about Hardy, typically a pitcher, now playing in the outfield today. If Hardy can reach, then Taylor Thornton, the number 9 batter, will be up here for the Lady Indians. Hardy swings on the first pitch, pops it out of play for strike one. We're scoreless in the top of the second. You hear the chop going in the background. This pitch hit, fouled off, out of play for strike two. So Hardy putting the bat on the ball, just can't put it in fair play. We can get something right back up the middle in a way. Could possibly score Downey from second, because they're shading us down the lines here with Hardy. Of course, you really don't have a whole lot of at-bats for Hardy to be able to tell what she's going to do. Matter of fact, I don't know if she has any at-bats this season. And she does not. So this is actually her first at-bat of the year here for Cassidy Hardy, and it's coming in a big way. 1-2 is the count now on Cassidy. We're scoreless in the top of the second. Brittany Taylor in the circle for Northeast. Pitch swung on, grounded to third, and that's going to do it. So that's going to do it there as a ground out.
Runs on 2 hits. There were no errors. 2 runners.
So no runs on 2 hits, 2 runners left on the bag, and we're scoreless still. So we're going to take a 1-minute timeout. And we'll come back with the bottom of the second here from Boonville right after this on Let'sGoICC.com. And welcome back. Whitney G., the left fielder, to lead things off here. That pitch just got away from Hannah Johnson. So we talked about look at Johnson's numbers. Hannah has pitched 31 and a third innings this year. She's given up 32 hits, 24 runs, 14 of those earned. She's only walked 6, has struck out 18. Swing and a miss that time. Of course, Hannah, before the season started, signed with Harding University. She has a 3.13 ERA coming into today's contest. Dribbler back up the middle. Third baseman gloves, throws across the way, and gets the put out. Caitlin Downey with a nice play, called off the pitcher. Smart play that time by Hardy.
Number 8, Haley
As Downey had all the momentum going towards first base and was able to make the play, barehanded threw over and got the speedy Gee out for the first out of the inning. So now Christian will be up here. Stands in, takes that first pitch for a strike. So Hannah Johnson in the circle, working with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. We're still scoreless in game 1. That pitch a little low and outside, evens up the count now at 1-1. Remind everyone, stay tuned. We'll have the second game coming your way here on Let'sGoICC.com. And that gives us about a 20-30 minute delay in between games. That pitch low and outside for ball 2. 2-1 now goes the count here on Christian. Good, the center fielder, is on deck, Waters in the hole for Northeast. This one popped right back. And so that's going to be the second out of the inning. That's pretty much the easiest out there for Hannah Johnson. She just pretty much just put her glove up and made the play. So now up is going to be the lefty, Shannon Good. You see the infield charging in here, expecting the slap here, hit out of Good. Good on the season, batting .125. And so 2 away here. Good takes that first pitch for a ball. I believe Shannon's out of the New Albany area. Remember her from her playing days with Coach Sanderson and the Lady Bulldogs. Second pitch, low and outside for ball 2. So 2-0 is the count here on Good, quickly ahead. So Johnson's going to have to battle back here. Infield is in, so is the outfield. 2-0 pitch coming. That one finds the zone for a strike. 2-1 now is the count here on Good. We're still scoreless. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Lady Indians had a chance. That one's down the line. It's a fair ball. Good's going to go for extra bases here. Or no, excuse me, she did not. As she stopped heading to first. So a break there in sense for the Lady Indians. But a good job by Cassie Hardy, who is, as we said, a pitcher playing left field today due to some players being suspended for the first game of the afternoon. So now up will be Waters. So 2 outs, runner on first. Didn't go on that pitch. Waters batting .333 on the year for Northeast. 2 outs, runner on first. That pitch high for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here on Waters. Time is called. We'll remind you of McDonald's in Fulton, proud to be a sponsor of ICC Athletics. So back to action now. And there's a shot, and it's going to get past the diving first baseman, but there is a nice play. No, they're going to say she was safe. Wow. That was close. Good play by Haley Moore that time after Henry couldn't get to it on the dive. Like Haley had beat the runner to first, but they're going to say Waters got there just about a half a step quicker than Moore, and that's impressive because Haley's got pretty good speed on her. And so back-to-back singles now, and there's runners on first and second with 2 outs. Lady Indians trying to get out of the bottom of the second inning with no damage done here. This is Gillian at the plate, swings on the first pitch. Henry gets in front of it, steps on the bag, and no harm done.
Good job, girl. Good job, Shannon. Way to get it going.
So Northeast puts 2 on, no runs off 2 hits, and 2 left stranded. We've played 2 in Boonville, and we're still scoreless. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout and be back with more on Let'sGoICC.com right after this. As we'll go to the 9, 1, and 2 batters due up here in the third. And this is going to be Taylor Thornton, the freshman out of Carroll Academy, digging in here in the number 9 spot. She'll be battling against Brittany Taylor. Both pitchers have given up a pair of hits, but they've been able to get out of the jams here. So that first pitch just outside for a ball. This is the North Division opener for both teams. Northeast, I believe, has played 6 games on the year. Lady Indians have played 11. That pitch high and inside for ball 2. So quickly ahead in the count now, 2-0 is Taylor Thornton. On deck is Haley Moore. That pitch inside for ball 3. That one almost nearly hit her that time. That's Taylor trying to jam the slap hitter. Let's see if she can get a little dribbler here. Talked about the playing field not ideal for bunting and slap hitting today as it's pretty wet. That pitch across for a strike. 3-1 now goes the count here on Taylor Thornton. You call this Taylor versus Taylor. Taylor Thornton at the plate, Brittany Taylor in the circle for Northeast. Pitch coming, swung on, and it's past the diving third baseman. Shortstop just couldn't quite get a hand on it, so that's going to be a leadoff single here for Taylor Thornton. So a nice job by Taylor. As we talked about the infield being a little wet here, as you sort of saw at that time as the shortstop went to plant to throw, lost her footing, and I don't think she would have been able to get her in time either way. So now up is going to be the leadoff batter, the second baseman today, Haley Moore. Moore swung on the first pitch she saw and lifted out to left field for the first out of the contest. That pitch high for a ball. Lady Indians have left 2 runners on the base, 1 in scoring position. For Northeast, they've left the same, 1 in scoring position, 2 runners on the bag. We're scoreless, so we're in the top of the third here in game 1. Showing bunt, nothing there. Pitch is going to be high. As we talked about, Northeast has erased 2 runners trying to steal today. They've got Lakin Schenkel and Caitlin Bradley dead to rights. Both of them have been pretty good pitchers to throw on. That pitch high for a ball. So 3-0 now is the count here on Haley Moore. If Haley Moore could reach them, we'd have a lot of speed on the bases with no outs. Lakin Schenkel on deck for the Lady Indians. And that pitch low for a ball. So Haley Moore will get a free pass. And so now here comes Lakin Schenkel. Schenkel, who was hit by a pitch but caught stealing her first time up, will dig in with no outs. Runners on first and second in a scoreless top of the 3rd inning here in game 1 between the Lady Indians and the Lady Tigers. Timeout taken as Coach Long is going to go out and talk to his pitcher here. We're going to take a 30-second timeout and be back with more on Let'sGoICC.com. Chicken swings on this one, lifts it to the outfield, drifting back, and off the fence. Over the head of the center fielder, 1 run will score. They're waving Moore home. She will score. And that'll be a 2-run single for Caitlin Bradley, just what the doctor ordered that time. Delivers the pitch here, swung down, it's down the line. Johnson will drive in 1 run. They're going to try to score another one, and they do so. So now this will be Hardy at the plate, the left fielder. Stands in, takes that first pitch, high for a ball. So runners on first and second, 2 outs. Lady Indians up 4-0. Shows bunt, lays it down straight to the pitcher. Throw over is in time. Trying to see if they can catch him napping that time, but did not. And Hardy is retired. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and the Lady Indians lead this one 4-0. As we move to the middle of the 3rd inning, we're going to take another timeout and hear a few words from our sponsors right here on Let'sGoICC.com. As we go now to the number 9 batter, this is Brittany Taylor. Swings on the first pitch and misses for strike 1. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. I am basically operating this computer, Raphael, without sight. As everything's just reflecting back, I can't see anything. Taylor swings and misses on that one for strike 2. Hannah Johnson still in the circle here for the Lady Indians. She helped out her cause with a 2-run single in the top of the 3rd inning to give the Lady Indians a 4-0 lead here. Stands in, that pitch a little low and outside for a ball. So Brittany Taylor, then we'll go back to the top of the lineup in Gates and Springer, due up here for the Lady Tigers. This one swung on and fouled off. Count will stay 1-2 here on Taylor. Well, as we talked about, a little different view today for this contest. Raphael Henry running the camera, doing a good job as we're at the ICC Foundation broadcast picnic table, is what we'll call it today. This one lifted up. Center fielder charging in. Nobody can make the play, so Taylor will reach on a leadoff single, the 3rd hit of the day here for the Lady Tigers. She just put that one where they weren't and was able to reach on the leadoff hit there. So now Gates, who is the shortstop this afternoon, will dig in with no outs and a runner on first. Interesting to see they're not going to go with a courtesy runner for Taylor. If that pitch was a ball. That is the case. They're not going to go with a courtesy runner for their pitcher. This one a dribbler to second. Throw over, there's 1. Couldn't turn 2. But they did get 1 out, so Gates will reach on a fielder's choice. Score that one 4-6 at home. There's 1 away now here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So that'll put Gates on first, retire Taylor, and now up will be Avery Springer. Springer, her first time up, grounded out 4-3. I tell you what, it'd be a great time to see that again here, see if we can't get a double play ball here to end the inning. That pitch just high and outside for a ball. Remind everybody what's coming up at ICC, being brought to you by Tupelo State Farm agent Rich Potter. The ICC baseball team will be back in action Sunday at Crescent Field against Wren Lake. I believe First American National Bank opening pitch for that one scheduled for noon. That'll be a doubleheader there. The Indians went on the road and split down at East Central yesterday. As this pitch is lifted to center field, Thornton calling everyone off, drops it. Snap throw to second was in time, but dropped the ball. So Springer reaches E8, and Gates will be at second. So the first error of the contest. As Thornton charged up a little bit, the ball carried on her a little bit. The wind is kind of whipping today, but one of those plays that should have been made out there at center field. So now up will be Cooper. Cooper grounded out 6-3 her last time up. So there's one out, runners on first and second. This one hit and foul down the line for strike one. It's going to be hard to turn a double play today, as we talked about. Well, the sun's kind of drying up the field as the day continues, but anything on the infield is a slow roller, and we've seen some bunts actually just hit and stop. So it's going to be interesting being an infielder today. This one lifted to right field. Right fielder charges and makes the play. Quickly gets the ball in, so the runner will advance on a sacrifice fly, but a good job by Schenkel that time to get out there, get on her high horse, and get the second out of the inning. And so now Lady Indians trying to get out of this one with no damage done. Runners on the corners for Northeast, and Whitney G, the left fielder, coming to the plate.
Left field number 9, Whitney G.
So Whitney G, the left fielder, she is out of Vardaman. So a fellow Calhoun Countyan at the plate right now. That pitch low and outside for a ball. On deck is Christian, the catcher, if G was to find a way to reach. Swing and a miss that time for G. The count now at 1-1. You've got Gates at third, Springer at first. Springer, who reached on an error. So ICC trying to get out of this inning with no damage done. And they lead 4-0. This pitch popped up. Thornton drifting over, comes over and makes the play for out number 3.
For the Tigers, no runs.
So no runs, one hit, one error, 2 left on for Northeast. As we've played 3, the Lady Indians lead this one 4-0. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout and be back with more from Boonville right after this on Let'sGoICC.com. 2-2 pitch coming. Swung on, hit to the outfield, and it's down in the gap. This is score Thornton. Moore will round with a double, and the Lady Indians take a 5-0 lead in the score. Schenkel lifts one, and it's going to drop. Moore going to be held up at third. They're going to try to throw in, and Schenkel's heads up base running that time for Lakin, as she will single and advance on the throw to second for the Lady Indians. They lead 5-0, trying to build on this lead here. There's a shot between the third baseman. That's going to score more. Shows bunt, lays it down nicely. Squeeze attempt is safe at home. And Bonner is going to try to get to second. She's there. The throw gets away, and Bradley will score. There's a shot, and it's past the third baseman. 1 run will score. They're going to send Downey for second. They're going to throw it home, and she is safe. So Thornton with her second hit of the day. So Lady Indians, we hoped they would match that 4th spot. Well, guess what? They've hung 6 on the board here in the 4th inning. This is game 1 of 2 today. Moore stands in and takes that pitch for a strike. 2 outs, runners On first and second, you've got Cassidy Hardy at second. Taylor Thornton at first. Moore slaps that one foul. Updating my stats, getting those runs all on there. Lady Indians lead 10-0. We're in the top of the fourth inning. Moore dribbles one forward to first. Turnaround toss is in time. Score that one 3-4 on the putout. But the Lady Indians, they score what I have, 6 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. We're going to take a timeout and move to the bottom half of the fourth with the Lady Indians leading 10-0. Also ATMs in Pontotoc, New Albany, and Ecru. They got that Ecru branch. It's located on Highway 15 there in Ecru. That pitch in there for a strike by Hannah Johnson. And she follows that one up with strike 2, so Johnson quickly ahead in the count. We've talked about the Sonic drive-in of Fulton. We've seen 10 runs scored. All those on RBIs brought to you by the Sonic drive-in of Fulton. That pitch outside and low for a ball. We've seen the sacrifice bunt go for push across and run. Those sacrifices being brought to you by the Baptist Student Union, an organization designed to link campus life with the life of the church. They meet Monday nights at 7:07. That pitch inside for a ball. 2-2 now is the count. They also meet during E period for lunch on Wednesdays. Also, don't forget this broadcast is coming to you from the ICC ICC Foundation Broadcast Today picnic table. There's a shot past the first baseman. It's going to be in for a leadoff single for Christian, her first hit of the afternoon, 4th hit of the day for the Lady Tigers. Also, you've got Dr. Ron Wheeler and Wheeler Family Dentistry located on South Adams Street. Trustmark Bank on the square in Fulton, as well as 624 Main Street in Columbus. Trustmark Bank, a neighborhood bank you can trust. Also, Coca-Cola and the Northeast Mississippi Coca-Cola bottlers. Buddy Long and company always doing a great job helping bring you these broadcasts here on letsgoicc.com. And then you've got McDonald's, all proud to be a sponsor there. And I tell you what, Raphael, we got a little breakfast this morning. It's already worn off. Wouldn't mind stopping by that McDonald's on the way in to Fulton. Of course, we talked about the ICC Foundation, and there's a bunt, and it's going to roll foul. Nearly hit the runner going down the line, but got out of the way. But speaking of the ICC Foundation, tonight will be the 19th annual Gospel Bluegrass Concert. So if you're listening here, you still got plenty of time to go by and pick up a very few remaining general admission tickets. Those on sale at the Davis Event Center for $25. This bunt fouled back for a strike. This is Good. She reached on a single, but was left stranded in the second inning. Lady Indians lead this one 10-0. There's a runner on first. No outs here in the bottom of the fourth of game 1. That pitch foul back for strike 2. Waters, the right fielder, on deck. In the hole is Gillian. This pitch popped up, is staying in play. Downey came up to make the play, but just couldn't find it in time. Thought that Bonner was going to come up and get the out, so a little confusion keeps Good alive here. A break there for Northeast, a tough break for the Lady Indians. 10-0 ICC with the lead, no outs, bottom of the fourth. Runner on first is a courtesy runner for Northeast. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down is in time. No! Said that she got underneath the tag. That was a strikeout, should have been a strikeout, throw him out. But Good goes down swinging for the first Trustmark Bank strikeout of the day for Hannah Johnson. Johnson gets the Trustmark Bank strikeout. Remember, there's locations on the square in Fulton as well as 624 Main Street in Columbus. Trustmark Bank, a neighborhood bank you can trust. This pitch popped a mile high into the fans and nearly off one of the young guys. That time was kind of tucked away trying to hide. It bounced off his foot, laughs it off. Raphael, that's one of those where it's good to be young. And speaking of interesting, the batting gloves, are those work gloves? Those are work gloves. So Jordan Waters out here trying to do some work. Grounder to first, throw over is in time for out number 2. The runner, though, does advance to third on the ground out. This is going to be number 11. And this is going to be a new batter in the game. This is Madison. Or excuse me, no, this is the same batter, Madison Gillian, the third baseman. Dribbler over. Going to have to hurry. Got there and got her out. That was too close for comfort, but score that one 4-3 on the putout. And that no runs on one hit, no error for Northeast. So we have played 4, and the Lady Indians lead this one 10-0. ICC coming to the plate as we're going to take a break and be back in 1 minute here on Let'sGoICC.com. Give us a follow on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. Also on Instagram, Let's Go ICC. Vine, Let's Go ICC. That is Henry. Lifts one. He's going to score 1 run. Going to score 2 runs. And Arian Henry has her second double of the day. Favorite foods over at Sonic. He's having to think of it.
I like the Frito chili pie.
That'd be really good right now. Really good.
Especially out here in this nice weather.
Yeah. A little chilly, but a nice day, as Raphael says. So go by Sonic and tell them that Raphael told you to get a Frito chili pie. And if you do, bring us 2. So Bonner at the plate. No outs and a runner on second. Lady Indians lead 12-0 here in the top of the 5th. As Arian Henry gets her second double to add a pair of insurance runs, brought to you by Tupelo State Farm agent Rich Potter. For all your insurance needs, go by and see Rich, located in Tupelo. Henry fouls that one back. Took a pretty healthy cut at that one. The count now goes 1-2 here on the sophomore catcher from Fayette, Alabama. 2-2, is the count. Scoreboard shows 1-2, but 2-2 is the count here on Bonner. Henry at second, no outs. Downey on deck. There's a shot lifted over the third baseman head, but pulled it foul. Well, that ball, if you're playing golf, be what you call a duck hook, as it hit its blinker and took a left after it got over the third baseman's head. Speaking of golf, the ICC golf team is on the road this week. Or this weekend, I should say. I believe they're playing at the Hines Invitational today, and they will turn around and travel to Colin Sunday is when they'll play at Hines, and then Monday they'll head to Colin. Bonner hit by a pitch, so she'll get the free pass. Tough at bat there, but a good at bat by Bonner. She fouled off a lot of pitches and found a way to get on base, being hit by the pitch. Bonner, she's a tough little cookie as she's laughing it off over there at first, and now Caitlin Downey, the third baseman, will dig in. Her first time up, she had a sacrifice bunt. She popped out to short, and she singled and scored a run her last time up, and this one fouled right back into your living room. Raphael Henry did not flinch, though. Raphael says it's too cold to be flinching. That first pitch foul back for strike 1. 12-0 is your score. ICC with the lead. We're in the top of the 5th. That's Downey Fouls that one back again. I think, Raphael, she's trying to make you jump. We talked about the great crowd out today supporting the Lady Indians. A good crowd out for Northeast. We do want to welcome all of our viewers watching here on letsgoicc.com for Northeast. Of course, Northeast is broadcasting their baseball game today, so we're proud to be able to help show the love this afternoon for both teams between these rivals. Working with fellow SID Blake Long before the game. He's up top doing the PA announcing. There's a ball lifted out. Hit to the outfield, and bases will be loaded now. Nice job at bat that time. Back-to-back singles for Downey. She's out of Missouri. Making Daddy proud as he's watching here on letsgoicc.com. And now Hannah Johnson. Well, we've talked about the day that Caitlin Bradley has had. Well, let's talk about the day Hannah Johnson has had. She's 2 for 3. She's got a two-run single. She's got a pair of singles on the day. She's grounded out 1-3 her last time up, and now a chance to add to that total. Here, she's working with bases loaded and no outs in the top of the 5th, and the Lady Indians lead this one 12-0. Remind everybody we'll have a brief intermission between games, and then we will have game 2 coming your way right here at letsgoicc.com. That pitch just high and outside for a ball. We'll also have your McDonald's post-game report, Sonic Stats, Wheeler Dentistry play of the game, and your Tupelo State Farm agent Rich Potter star of the game coming your way at the conclusion of this one. This pitch hit, fouled back for a strike. I believe 1-2 now is the count here on Johnson. We talked about Johnson before the start of the season, signing with Harding University. Harding, a lot of people think, getting a steal in Hannah. She's 4-1 on the year, trying to move to 5-1 if the Lady Indians can hold strong here in the bottom of the 5th. There's a shot to the first baseman, gloved. They're going to come home with it. The tag is there, so a fielder's choice as Johnson will reach. 3-2 on the putout. One of those where she could have just stepped on the base, applied the tag, but the tag forced the runner away from the bag for the first out, so that does cut down a run, but the bases stay loaded here in the top of the 5th with 1 out, and now up will be Cassidy Hardy. Hardy walked her last time up. She's 0 for 2 on the day. 12-0 is your score in favor of the Lady Indians here in game 1. Remind everybody, the big next event coming up, brought to you by the ICC Foundation, will be the Tanglefoot Ride. There's a shot up the middle. They're coming home with it. Got her out. Good job that time by the catcher. Knowing the situation, stretched out, kept the foot on the bag that time, and just couldn't quite beat the throw. Could Bonner, so back-to-back putouts at home for the Lady Tigers, and it keeps the score at 12-0, and Taylor Thornton
Center fielder number 4, Taylor Thornton,
will be up now. Back-to-back reaches on fielder's choice by the Lady Indians. 2 outs, bases still loaded for Lady Indians. Taylor Thornton, who had a 2-run single her last time up, stands in and takes that first pitch for a ball. We talked about the baseball team. They'll be back in action tomorrow. No broadcast schedule for that one, as I'll be there tweeting the game and shooting highlights as well. One of those, we got to find a day off. It's been a hectic week, folks, but we will be hitting the baseball and softball trail pretty hard as soon as division play comes up for both teams. This is the division opener here for Northeast and ICC. Thornton right up the middle, gets past the second baseman. 1 run will score, and that's going to do it as Downey comes across for the second time today. And that's another Sonic of Fulton RBI.
with Haley Moore.
The third of the day for Taylor Thornton, and back to the top of the lineup now as Haley Moore will dig in with the Lady Indians leading 13-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Moore, who's doubled, scored a run and drove in a run. She grounded out 3-4 her last time up. Stands in and takes that first pitch high for a ball. She's also walked, scored a run, and on the first pitch of the day, she flew out to left. So Moore working with bases loaded and 2 outs. That pitch high and outside for a ball. We talked about the baseball team. They split at East Central yesterday, losing to East Central in a heartbreaker, and then rallying late to beat Southeastern. There's going to be a toss over to third, and couldn't find the base, but finally found it, and that will do it on the inning. 6-5 on that putout if you're scoring at home. Lady Indians, though, put another 3 runs on the board, and they lead this one 13-0, as we're going to move now to the bottom of the 5th inning. ICC trying to get a run rule win here. We're going to take a break and be back in 1 minute right here on Let'sGoICC.com. The 9, 1, and 2 batters due up here for Northeast. That pitch across for a strike. Hannah Johnson has been dealing well today. Hopefully I didn't just jinx her. I'm going to knock on the ICC Foundation broadcast picnic table after saying that. That pitch low and outside for a ball. This is number 2 at the plate for Northeast. I don't have her having an official at-bat this year. I believe this is the pitcher in the game right now. 2-1 is the count. Johnson working with a 13-0 lead. There's a shot right back up the middle past a diving shortstop and a leadoff single. And so now up will be Gates. Gates 0 for 2 on the day. She did reach on a fielder's choice, but was left stranded in scoring position. This is Chelsea Gates. I believe Chelsea out of the Houston area. So Gates digs in with no outs and a runner on first here for Northeast. ICC leading 13-0. That pitch across for a strike. Speaking of other former Lady Indians, I see former Lady Indian Mallory used to be Hill. Can't remember her last name now. And Mallory will probably let me know it once she goes back and rewatches this game. Mallory, former Chief Winnemall, as well as utility player for the Lady Indians. Talk about seeing Rachel Talley, also Danny Taylor in the house. So a lot of former Lady Indians coming back to enjoy this game so far. Gates, who is a slap hitter, run up on that one. Had to duck and dive to get out of the way of that one as a little inside heat that time. From Johnson, no outs, runner on first. Northeast at the plate. Gates swings on that one, lobs it forward. Throw from first is not in time. So back-to-back singles to start the bottom of the 5th inning here for Northeast. I believe they're going to need 7 runs to keep this one going.
First baseman number 7, Avery Springer.
So now the first baseman, Avery Springer, also a Chickasaw County native, coming to the plate. Runners on first and second. Lady Indians would love to see if they can turn 2 here to get 2 outs. Springer stands in, takes that first pitch for a strike. Dribbler up the middle, glove over, throw is in time for the out. Score that one 6-3 for the first out of the inning. Runners do advance on the play. So now Cooper will come to the plate, another Chickasaw County native. If I'm remembering correctly, I believe the trio of the 1-2-3 batters, all from Houston. Whitney G on deck, she's from Vardaman. That pitch in the dirt. Bonner nicely blocks that one up so it doesn't get away and allow the run to score. 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning here in game 1. ICC leading 13-0. Hannah Johnson Still in the circle here for ICC. That pitch looked good, but the umpire said a little low and inside for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here on Cooper. Cooper, her last time up, had a sacrifice fly to right, allowing the runner to advance to third, but was left stranded. She also grounded out 6-3. That pitch in there for a strike. I don't know if it was location or if he said she did commit to the pitch. So 2-1 pitch coming. Low for a ball. 3-1 now is the count here on Cooper. First base is open, so they do have a spot to put her on. Christian, who singled her last time up, or no, excuse me, it would be G. Christian is in the hole. So Johnson delivers that one low, and that is Hannah's first walk of the afternoon. Well, I said she was dealing nicely coming into this game, and I have to apologize as I believe I've jinxed her in this inning. So now, bases loaded here for Northeast, and Whitney G at the plate. G flew out to center her last time up. That pitch high for a ball. Sale Johnson that time just trying to overcorrect on that one as she's had a few pitches go low. So Johnson takes a little bit extra time to walk it off and regather herself here. Be a great time for a Dr. Ron Willard Dentistry double play here to get out of this inning. This pitch lifted. Thornton charges on, throws in, gets the runner out at second. But one run does score for G. So that's a Sonic of Fulton RBI. And that is going to be Cooper, who is retired. So 8-6 for the putout. So they trade a run for an out. And I think the Lady Indians will gladly do that, although it does take the shutout away from Johnson. Lady Indians lead this one 13-1 with 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th. Christian stands in and takes that one for a ball. Runners on the corners for Northeast. ICC leads this one 13-1. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning of game 1. This pitch lifted. It's trouble. Thornton is going to drop for extra bases. 1 run will score. They're going to try to score the runner from first, and she'll do so. So a 2-run double. And don't sleep on the Lady Tigers just yet, as they're starting to claw their way back into this one.
Way to go, sis!
So a courtesy runner will come in here for the catcher after that 2-run double. And it's a 13-3 lead now.
Courtesy runner at second base is Mackenzie Riley, and the pinch hitter for the Tigers, number 23, Maggie Martin.
So courtesy runner is Mackenzie Riley. And now at the plate is number 23. I don't have her, or excuse me, that's Maggie Martin. Maggie Martin now at the plate with 2 outs and a runner on second, as Coach Long is talking to the infield umpire across the way, maybe getting his substitutions. So Maggie Martin, the freshman, will get her first at bat of the day. She is replacing center fielder Good. So 2 outs, runner on second. Lady Indians lead this one 13-3. Swing and a miss by Martin. Riley getting a pretty healthy lead out there at second. Trotted back in a hurry.
Come on, Maggie.
Martin stands in, takes that one low for a ball. 1-1 now is the count here. Looks like Riley is trying to bait a throw. She's not really in a hurry to get back to second, but she is getting a very healthy lead, so anything hit to the outfield will score her. But there's a grounder to short, throw across the way in time. Score that one 6-3 on the putout. And I believe that is going to be your ball game. And that is going to be the case. So the Lady Indians pick up a
3
game.
runs, 3 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. Your final score.
Game 13-3 victory. We're going to take a 1 minute timeout and come back with the McDonald's postgame report right after this.